Let's call the Woodbury Select Board meeting to order on Monday, April 13th, 2026 at 6:01 p.m. Any adjustments to the Select Board agenda? The only thing that I would suggest, Alfie, is Peter coming today? Yep, there he is right there. Yep. Would it be okay if we swapped, did the road commissioner's report right after public comment?
Fine with me.
Is there any objections? We'll do that. Hey, Peter.
Hi,
How you doing?
not bad.
All right. All right. There's,
Might want to help me to stay till we get to the end there, but up to him.
okay. If you feel like it, you see how you feel.
I was half thinking that might be
Yeah, a good
the
place.
rest of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all right. So the next agenda item is to approve minutes from the March 23rd and April 2nd meetings. Is there a motion from the board? Someone on the board?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the March 23rd meeting and April 2nd special meeting.
Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll move on to the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Right?
The motion passes unanimously, so we approve the minutes from the 23rd and the 2nd. All right, while we are doing that, we'll have a moment for public comment. It's Graham, right?
Yes, sir.
Graham, I'm Chris.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here in the public. If you're here just to watch, that's great. If you're interested in making a public comment, you should.
Well, I think he's here for one of the items on the agenda too.
Yeah, I'm just not sure when I open my mouth.
This one here.
Okay, we'll go down to, we'll wait on that unless you have anything else you want to.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
There are no other requests.
So I bumped you guys up. We'll move right on to the road commissioner's report and let you dive right in.
Okay,
Yeah?
you wanna start off, Peter, and then I can fill in?
I think we need to keep in mind that we need to keep looking for a third full-timer.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we need to probably, we currently are not advertising that, I don't believe. We have an advertisement for it. Am I right about that, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would just take rerunning it again
Hmm.
in,
Because even if we do keep one of the part-timers, we need we need a third full-timer.
need a third full time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And obviously, if you guys had somebody you would bring in mind, you would bring forward.
Going forward, yeah.
Yeah.
But we just, haven't come across anybody,
Yeah.
so we were thinking we should probably get an advertisement
Okay.
out. See what we can.
And is that something that's pretty easy to do? I know John can put it back on the website pretty
Yeah.
easily. Do we want to put
Sure, I
that
can
in
find it.
newspapers?
Yeah.
And then,
Well, we usually put it in the Times Argus and the
What was that?
Hardwick Gazette and the
News and
News
Citizens?
and Citizen, yeah.
and then to get it posted on VLCT, is that what we often do? Sometimes.
We could, we
I
have.
think we should,
Can't hurt.
yeah.
Does it cost us anything to do that?
Don't think so. No.
Well, we should do it then. There's no reason not to. Any other good ideas front porch forum posts? Yeah.
Yeah, we might grab a local,
Yeah.
Forum,
Yeah.
maybe Facebook.
Yeah.
That's definitely not me.
Mhm. Now, I seem to recall someone said, and I just accepted it, guess whoever said it seems to know what they're talking about, that we're supposed to put a price, you know, a wage in with the ad, is that?
I think it's
Usually
probably
do?
a good idea. Or a range.
We
you
have
give
it
a
in the
range.
past.
Oh, okay, well, I never said that
You
then.
give a range depending on
Range,
experience.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I've seen that a lot.
so like 20 to 25 or something like that, is that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that will draw for people, but, you know, 25 is not a lot of money for
Yeah,
this day and age. I mean, it's just, you
Yeah.
know, it's a hard,
We
it's
should
a
know that
hard
right now.
position to fill.
hmm,
I mean, there are a lot of other towns starting at 27
Okay.
with no experience.
With no
really?
experience.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe we should do what? 27?
25 to 30 with, depending on experience?
I think-
Well, that's what I just said, and you said-
27.
You said
I think I
20
would
to
go with
25.
Oh, I did, I'm
27 at the
sorry.
high range.
Say again?
I would suggest 27 at the high range.
Okay.
And then if it happens to be somebody with lots of experience, we can negotiate that in an interview.
Okay. 25 to 27 is the,
Yeah.
okay.
What's the rates of the, see, right now it's you and Tim and Alfie for the piece that we have, but what's Tim's rate?
He's 26, 26.
And so probably,
I think he's somewhere around there.
we probably need to do something there. We can't have someone with zero experience coming in at a higher rate than a.
Exactly,
Right,
yeah,
but
we
that,
talked about
but the
that.
25 to 27 covers you. Right, you got somebody with zero experience, they're at 25.
Yeah,
Somebody with more, they can go up to 27 and negotiate with their level of experience
Yeah.
during the interview.
Just want to make sure we don't end up.
No, right, yeah, because that could get us in a bind.
Tim's almost 25 now.
All right, thank you for the heads up.
Is the part-timers that you have now, are either of them willing to hang on for a while?
Well, Lewis is willing to work for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Alf, you mentioned something that earlier today to me about he might be looking for a different place to live, so he doesn't know how long he'll be willing to work here.
So,
And
you're talking about Lou?
And Louis.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Lewis, yeah, if he finds a different place that's
Yeah.
further away,
Yeah.
then we're probably gonna lose him.
Yeah.
But I think he was just giving me a heads up of that possibility.
And,
Dana was willing to work as much as he can while he's around here, but during the summer months, he likes to take off to Maine for his camping trips, and stuff like that. Of course, he's also retired, so he doesn't need to be doing this.
Yep.
Right,
So-
but at either rate, both of these part-timers, one can only do 25 hours and the other can only do 30 hours, so
oh, okay.
it's still not giving us the full
Not the same.
time.
Commitment you need.
Right, right.
Yep, understood.
Well, I guess should be thankful that they stepped in when they did.
Yeah, no, it's been a great help, for sure.
Oh, by the way, speaking of thankful, I neglected to call you and thank you for doing such a good job on the bottom of the road here.
Well, that's it.
Thank you.
Well,
It was getting pretty bad.
it was getting pretty bad there.
So, speaking of, how are the roads holding up?
They're potholy, they're rough,
Yep.
but I'm seeing no mud. I'm seeing absolutely no mud,
Mm.
and that's phenomenal.
Why does that happen?
I wish I could answer that honestly. I think that it's just the way the frost came out. It
Yeah.
just, we had those few rainstorms, rain always pulls the frost out.
Yep.
It kind of happened slowly, it warmed up slowly, it didn't go to 60 or 70 degrees, like it is coming. It's supposed to be really warm this week, so it just didn't, the frost didn't come out super fast like it typically does.
I think it's the thaw profile. Like we had that really warm couple of days, but then it cooled back off. So I kind of thawed it out.
Yeah, no, I think that's the only, that's what saved us, is the slow freeze and thaw. Knocked
And then
I mean, I'd like to say that it's just our excellent work out there, but that wouldn't be
Yeah.
fair or accurate. Or helpful.
take a,
You don't take responsibility for the weather,
No,
good or bad.
good or bad.
I mean, we changed the culvert today, and
Oh,
we didn't find frost until we got down about 4.5 feet.
really?
Yeah.
that surprises me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna pass this along. Alfie, I think you have heard, I had a couple phone calls just about County Road north of, I went and drove it, but I pulled off Cranberry Meadow.
Yeah.
And north of there was some folks that were concerned about being able to get through. But
Hmm.
It's gotta be potholes, there's no mud.
there's no,
I
no,
just drove that,
no ruts.
I just drove that last Friday, and it was a lot of potholes, but
Yeah.
there was no mud anywhere.
Hmm.
And as soon as it stops raining, I was planning on grading that.
Great,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of roads are ready to grade, but we just can't grade when it's raining,
sure,
you
yeah.
know? And we've been skipping around some, trying to fill some of the potholes with gravel,
Yep,
when the weather's right. But again, you don't wanna do that when it's raining either, because it just turns to mush, it's just not a good time.
this is only for my own edification and not as any kind of suggestion about how to manage the roads. But one of the people that called me said that, and that people are always gonna compare Callis and Woodbury, right, as they drive through, but that they're laying down bigger stone, and again, I'm not pretending to know anything about any of this.
Not
so-
doing it.
It would,
Okay.
You drive on those stones, it takes like 3 gradings for those big stones to mix in.
Yeah, okay,
It's terrible, it's like driving on marbles with a.
really hard to get those big stones to mix in
Hmm.
after grading, because when you're grading, you can't dig real deep.
yeah,
I
So
mean,
them stones don't, you can't hide them right away. It takes 3 or 4 gradings before they're mixed into the road.
yeah.
So you must drive that section of road to Callis.
I do.
So have you noticed that they're doing
It's
that?
like driving on marbles.
Really?
Yeah.
you know, those bigger stones are great when you have actual mud,
Yep,
because it sinks down into the mud and it mixes with it, and it actually binds it up, it creates
Yeah.
a hard surface. But when you've already got a hard surface, and you're putting these big pebbles, 1.5-inch pebbles onto it,
Yeah.
it can't drive into that dirt, because it's not soft, now it's hard. So that's why we're driving on marbles. It's not a good idea.
Okay.
It's not, in my opinion, and I'm sorry, I've been doing this a long time, I would not do that. We're using 3/4 inch. It's a lot smaller stone. It mixes in with the gravel. And if it doesn't mix in, it's a smaller stone.
easier to grade later.
I can't believe they're not getting calls about pop tires. Because those stones, they just stick up, they're on a hard surface, and they can't drive into the ground. So,
It's good knowledge for me to have when I have these conversations.
yeah.
It's all trade-offs. I mean, I haven't been on the roads that much, but what I've seen is it's really rough, you gotta go really slow, but you can get there.
Yeah.
It's not like some years have been where
Right.
there's spots where you don't know if you can get through that road.
Yeah, I mean, we've had years where we've had to close
Yeah.
roads because
Yeah.
people can't get through.
And
we're
it's certainly-
not- It's just not
Yeah,
happening.
you certainly can't be in a hot hurry, but there's not a lot till it stops
This is
raining.
a hard time of year with what you can get away with and what you can't.
So with those bigger stones, when they drive over them, do they roll over to the sides of the road? So you're really not getting any benefit from that larger stone?
If the traffic travels too fast,
Yeah.
they'll push them right off to the side.
Yep.
I mean, plus another thing that I've noticed, I cleaned my yard up yesterday. That stone that they're putting when they come and plow, it's all out in the bank.
Yeah.
Or on my lawn or somebody's lawn. So those big stones they're not beneficial unless you have a wet spot, a really soft, muddy spot. Then those stones are helpful. And so I'm not gonna tell them what to do and how to do their job, but I never did that when I was there. Just didn't, unless it was a really serious mud hole. So yeah, people are gonna compare one town to the other, for sure,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I'm here to say that that's not the way I would do it.
Well, and it sounds like you're gonna be able to get out and grade maybe.
Yeah, so this stops raining, any chance we get, the
Yeah.
grader's ready to rip,
Yeah.
But it just, you can't do it when it's raining. And they're saying rain all this week, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Hands are tied,
Yeah.
you know,
Gotta go slow.
just gonna have to deal with it for another, until we can get out there.
What else you guys got?
I can add the F-550 is fixed.
Nice.
Oh,
That seems to be running fine, everything is working the way it's supposed to. I've submitted the bill to Willie,
In the packet.
Okay, what was the damage? What we thought?
like 12,000.
Well,
But there was some extra work too that it needed for inspection.
Yeah.
So now it's inspected, it's good for another year,
Yeah.
hopefully unless something else.
Remind me the year of that, maybe 2014?
17,
17. Okay.
17, so just something to put on the thought board for replacement, because it's gonna be a problem child.
Yeah.
And I know when we talked about this repair, we were contemplating whether to repair it or to replace it. And, you know, I think we need to keep that idea on the table as far as replacing.
Lily, do you happen to recall when that particular vehicle, I don't expect you to know this, when it's scheduled for replacement?
We had, when we talked, Peter, we had switched
We switched the excavator with the one ton, I think.
with the 550s.
Yeah.
And that was what, 27?
I think so.
I believe it's 27. Yeah.
Okay, so then
Or 28.
we can live through this year and
Yeah,
if it's
so
28.
right, we'll try to get there.
so you're saying that the excavator comes before the,
The excavator, I think when we were talking, was taking the spot of the 550 of being traded up into.
the most
Next year.
urgent? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
The other update I have is about the raccoon damage. We've got the report back from the adjuster, and I've kind of sat on it. The next step now is to digest that and get a contractor to give us some bids.
So he didn't give you a number or?
He did.
Okay.
I should have brought the report, but it's hanging on the wall in the office. But
Probably good in terms of if we're going to get some estimates from people, if we don't make that a public number.
absolutely.
No.
And Lily
Okay.
had
Okay.
a conversation,
Yeah.
they asked us if we could keep that information to ourselves.
Oh, okay.
So I have the number, I can, you know, it was more what I needed was the scope of work,
Sure.
what they're gonna pay for. So now I have that, it's all explained in that report. So now I can explain that to a contractor as to what we're looking for.
Yep.
It's gonna be more than $8,000?
Yes,
So do we have to go out to bid?
yes. Yes, it's definitely gonna be more than $8,000.
$1,000 doesn't get you much anymore.
Yeah, that means,
Hardly gets a truck in the dooryard these days. Yeah.
so can you write up a little scope of work kind of thing that I can put in an advertisement?
Yeah, I can, like I said, I gotta digest that report a little bit better, and I can figure out something. Maybe I can give you part of that report, the part that doesn't have the dollar signs on it.
Okay.
Let me know if you guys want help with that. I'm happy to.
Oh, okay, you could do
Yeah, I mean, it's all spelled out in there, so it's just
that.
about putting it in our own words.
Mhm. And the scope of work is to do it from down below? What they suggested, to take the ceiling down?
Yes,
That's what you said last time.
yes. I haven't fully digested the report. So
Okay.
I would rather not comment inaccurately on
All
that.
right.
So, but I will get after that.
It's worth
Mhm.
asking, like, once you've had a chance to look at it, and if roof damage isn't included, it's worth figuring out if there's an appeal process for that. Because presumably, a lot of that roof damage is a result of the loss of insulation, ice damming, just
Right.
probably pulling screws or nails or whatever that tin roof is
Right.
down with.
That's right.
And my opinion, that should be included. So once you had a chance to look at it and find out,
Yeah.
we can see if it is, great. And if it's not, maybe there's some sort of appeal process.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, because the guy that put this report together is not a contractor, he's not a carpenter, he's not, he's just sort of estimating and so, yeah, I'm sure that there's a process for that. If we get a contractor there and says, you know, this, you can't, you gotta do.
Yeah.
Then we can, talk with them as far as, you know,
Yeah.
we're getting more from it. So I'll try to digest that, this week.
I came over and looked, but can you remind me, there is roof sheathing on there? Like, between the top of the rafters and the
There's
tin?
rafters, strapping, and then sheathing.
And then sheathing, okay. And that's everywhere, or was it kind of patched in?
It's kind of patched,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
It's everywhere I've seen, where I've actually looked in
okay.
there.
Some of
There's
it's
the boards
pretty,
that are on there that are like strapping,
yeah,
and then they used OSB on top of that.
right, which is pretty papery at this point,
Yeah.
right?
That stuff just falls right apart.
Yeah,
yeah, especially with the moisture on it.
yeah. Wish there was a lot. All right, sorry to interrupt.
So, but, I'm sorry, I don't understand how all this works, but you need a contractor first and then go to bid? So you need a contractor, or you guys can, what do you guys between you will write it out?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably,
I think we gotta
you can
come up-
ask people, but I think we probably should put it, if we're gonna go out to bid, it should be an advertisement as well.
We have to have our own scope of work
Right,
based on that report.
right,
So
but we don't need somebody else to do the scope of work, because you guys should be able to do it. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have a scope of work, we can hand it to multiple contractors, and then they're bidding all on the same
Thank
work.
you.
I think that's all I have.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the time to announce my future.
I think, yeah. I think this is a.
Yeah,
evident.
I have decided that May 1st will be my last, somewhere in the May 1st area, I'm gonna be done. Happy to talk about future management duties. But we need to do that if that's the desire that the select board wants.
And so that's like 2 weeks.
That's actually 3 weeks, but yeah. Yeah, you know, the first lands, I think, on the Friday,
Yeah, then-
right? So, if I have to go a couple days into May, I'm not against that.
Well, maybe you can give the select board a chance to kind of discuss that, possibilities there, but I think you and I have had some good conversations about what, like, post-retirement from the town might look like.
Resignation.
Resignation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know you're not retiring from work in general, but,
Sorry, not quite there yet.
yeah. But we can have those conversations about what that might look like if possible.
Yeah,
Thank you for, one, I know that you wanted this to happen kind of a long time ago,
yeah.
and
October.
kept us out of the danger zone through the winter, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. The other thing, it's a small thing, but Peter mentioned that there's a show, it's like a chainsaw show in Burlington, right? Essex, that we've gone to several times, and I was wondering if it's okay to use that as training.
Chainsaw, did you say?
Well,
It's like,
It's not like,
It's a
it's not
bunch
the
of-
truck show?
It's like the truck show,
It's similar.
it's a bunch of vendors
Yeah.
that, you know, sell different chainsaw, you know, like chaps, you know, tools for chainsaw, for chippers, you know, stuff
chippers,
like
safety stuff,
Mhm.
safety equipment. So I was thinking of the whole crew going to that and treating it as a training, which it is. I mean,
Yeah.
we're learning about equipment,
Educational.
all the new stuff.
Mhm.
And it's in the budget, we have a line item for it, so.
But there's no fee to go there, right? It's just, I mean, there's no fee to get in.
I don't know that there
I
is.
think there is.
If there is, it's not much.
Oh, okay.
It's $12.
Oh, okay. You have to sign up and bring your check, or?
I don't know if you have to sign up.
We can research that, we've got a
Okay,
little bit of time.
good.
A couple weeks, so.
When is it?
It's right around May 1st. It's
Okay.
right in there. That's why I was bringing it to your attention, because
Okay.
I'm on my way out, but I want to go to this. So, but I feel like it would be good for all the people to go.
Good. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We should all go. When's the truck show? That's in the summer?
That's in
The
May.
6th, I
May
think.
6th.
I think it's the 6th.
May
So I'd love
6th?
to go to that
May
too.
6th.
Maybe that'll have time, depending on
Yeah.
when I get out.
So that'll just be a regular day's pay, right?
Yeah, there's no fee, there's no
Mhm.
entrance fee for that. Unless you enter the competition, then it's like a $15 thing for.
Oh, for the truck
Oh,
show?
wait, no, there is a
there's
fee because you
for
have
lunch.
dinner. They feed you dinner there, so there's a fee for the lunch.
Ah,
But that's something we've done every year too. And I don't think that's gonna break the 10.
no.
So, yeah, just kind of wanted to bring that up and make sure that,
Do you want to go to the truck show too? I mean, can we just approve this all at the same time? You won't be on payroll anymore, so
correct.
but you can still,
You can still buy my dinner.
with the guy, yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Oh,
think
you like that?
that'd be good, because,
Okay.
you know. So that's all within, and there is a registration form for that, but they send it out every year, so.
And will Leo write the check for whatever you,
She's been pretty good with that in the past. So, yeah.
Thanks,
I
guys.
think other than that, that's all I've got
All right.
for now.
okay, thank you.
Hopefully the rain is good.
It is. The rain is actually a lot of why we don't have enough.
Yeah.
Really been the case for trying things out. Now, how that works, I don't know. Can't explain it, but it does drive things out.
Yeah. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
You want to
Yeah.
do
You want me to stay?
Michael's part about the,
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to?
well, before Peter leaves, you might,
Well, we talked about all of this morning anyway.
okay.
So I talked to Ralph and Peter about it, but I could do it now if you want, or we could wait.
And if it doesn't matter to me, I think it would be up to, well, we do it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'll try to keep this brief, there's a lot going on. First of all, there are some new grant opportunities that we learned about when we met with V-Trans. And talking with Alfie and Peter, kind of the feeling that's go ahead with the applications, they're due in 2 days. But we want to share with the select board what we're thinking of with these applications and how much they would cost. And basically, if you don't think this is a good idea, then we'll just wait. Okay. So when we met with V-Trans, they encouraged us to apply for these applications just because Woodbury is pretty high on their list right at the moment. And also there have been very little towns applying, so so they were kind of encouraging us to do this.
Are these road improvement, like the
Yeah,
swimming grants and
they're
stuff
all
like
road
that?
improvements. The big one would be a V-Trans Structures grant to repave Foster Hill Road, the paved section of Foster Hill Road. Alfie has had a fellow from Pipe Industries give an estimate of the repaving, which comes to about $69,000. So with the grant, the town match for that would be about $14,000. And this wouldn't happen until fiscal year '28. So it wouldn't happen in this particular fiscal year that you guys have already budgeted for.
So presumably in 20, sorry to interrupt,
No, it's okay.
in 2028, those paving prices will go up, so would our town match.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's fine,
He
just
gave us, the
clarification.
prices he gave us, he said were on the high side for budgeting.
Okay.
So when the time comes, it may be less, if we were doing it this year.
Pike, you mean?
Pike Industries.
Yeah, okay.
So if it's a year down the road or 2 years down the road, there's a chance it might be a little bit higher.
Okay,
But we have this time to budget for it, for our share,
got it.
right, between now and when the work actually happens.
I would, sorry, I would say we do have a paving reserve with about 26,000.
Okay, that could cover the town
So
side.
we'll cover the share and then some.
Yeah, easily.
And it needs it.
It does need it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, this was generated, the idea was generated from our road crew.
Yeah.
So that would be preferable to Cabot Road paving?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is in worse condition than
Oh, okay.
Cabot. I mean, Cabot Road is how this whole thing started.
Right,
We wanted a price for repaving that.
right.
And then I got looking at Foster Hill, and I said, well, while the salesman's here, we might as well have him look at that and get a price. After the conversation with the state, and they're saying they're encouraging us to apply for a grant.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, let's get a price for that, and then, so that's what I did.
Yeah.
But certainly Foster Hill Road is in worse condition than Cabot at this point, as far as it's cracking, it's just so far gone that you can't seal those cracks either, it's just,
No.
and every time when water gets down in those cracks, it freezes, it's,
Well, it's at the point now where you're gonna start seeing real noticeable damage to it going forward without doing anything to it.
so, hearing Lily say we have that fund, which is meant for paving, we could conceivably do that this summer. Right, Michael, is that the grant, if they approve us the grant,
Yeah, that's,
we just have to do it after July 1.
Seems like a no-brainer to me.
So, but I thought Michael said this would be for FY '28.
well, it can be.
Can be.
It can be.
To give us
We
that,
have 30 months from the time that the grant is awarded.
No.
So technically, I wrote down, what is that date? We have until December 31st of 2028. So technically, you know, it can go into fiscal year '29 also, in order to complete these projects. So we have 30 months.
Usually how long does it take them to approve a grant once it's been submitted?
We should know, let's see, the April 15th is, we should probably know by the beginning of June.
Oh,
Yeah, they're pretty quick.
And then if it's all approved, we could schedule and have it anytime
Right.
after July 1. We could have it start.
The thing that's holding everything up now for approval of grants that we've submitted is that the legislature hasn't determined how much money they're giving V-Trans
Yeah.
at this point. So that's it. So the other two projects, again, it's through the V-Trans Structures grant, but it's just for engineering. And it would be for engineering design work for the culvert on Church Street and the culvert on Bailey Bridge Road, which are pretty much of the same generation, I think, as the Valley Lake Road culvert that we're replacing this summer.
That was gonna be a question. Like, are we just, if we replace the Valley Lake Road, are we just moving the bottleneck up a few feet? That's what I
Right.
asked you about.
But yeah, both of those culverts, they're the same kind of design, a kind of a squashed ellipse, and they're both kind of equally rusted out. Maybe not quite as bad as the Valley Lake Road one. And I've talked to Nate Seacard about this. He gave me estimates for the Church Street culvert. He estimates for the design work about $5,000 to $6,000 for that one. And for Bailey Bridge Road, he's estimating a little bit more, $6,000 to $8,000. There's a big question with Bailey Bridge Road, and I don't want to go too much into the details tonight, but we would have to figure out an access road for when that culvert was
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
um, So, but let's not go any further than that. right?
That might be a long conversation.
Yeah, really.
So there's some groundwork we're gonna do to try to figure out how that'll be done, but,
Okay.
and we'll take that up.
Question,
So, yes.
when you do the Bailey Bridge culvert, is that going to affect that dam up there in any way? Do we have to worry about that?
The Beaver Dam?
No, the dam right there by, who would you know that lived there?
Or the Kips?
Where Kips lived,
No.
okay.
And these culverts would not be anywhere near the scale of what had to happen on Valley Lake Road.
So if we get the engineering work, then we'll just have to see whether we get work, enough money to actually do the job in the next year.
And the reason they encourage us to do this engineering work is they mentioned that also sometimes at the end of a application cycle, they have a small chunk of money left over that they need to spend.
Oh,
And the engineering grants are very small, $5,000, compared to a couple $100,000. So if they have a little pot of money left over and they can't, this is one way for them to spend it.
yeah.
So, and, so if we don't get it, then we'll just apply again next year.
So the engineering, the other engineering that Nate was gonna do on the county road culverts, that's still pending?
Yes, we've pretty much, he has that in his
Waiting on that.
work plan. So there's one other grant that we're being teased to also. It's the grants and aid, which we had decided not to go for this year, just because the road crew, wants to get back to some regular summer work. But we can apply for the grant for this year and do the work next summer, because we have until September 31st, 2027 to do it. And I think part of the reason that they're sort of pushing us to do these grants is that there probably will be less money available in the future. The state is pretty uncertain about how much federal funding they'll be getting in the years following, and right now they have this money. So I think that's one of the reasons they're kind of encouraging us to do that. And this would be a whole new project that the road crew would come up with, but we wouldn't really plan on working on it until next year in the summer, so that we could tag this into the fiscal year 28 budget. That would probably be the way to do it, because we haven't budgeted at all for this fiscal year.
And can I go back to the engineering one?
Yes.
That grant award, if we were to get it, would cover a certain portion of the engineering?
Yeah, the engineering, any permit work.
Would it cover it entirely, or is it?
Yeah, well, there would be a town match, but
Yeah.
it's 80%, 20%, so
So
it would
minimal
be a
less.
small amount.
Yeah, okay. And how about the grants and aid?
The grants and aid, you never know how much you're gonna get, but
Okay.
again, it's 80-20.
Got it.
So it would depend on the project that we submit, the estimate that we would have for it, and whether they would have the money. Usually they try to give you the money that you request for a project. And often we tend to do more work than what's budgeted, so we easily meet the match just through the work that we do. So I guess, we would, just like your blessing on these new unexpected grants, would you like us to pursue them, or?
Well, I think, so the first one is the paving, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
What might be doable this year. The next one is engineering for the two other big culverts, and the third one is unknown, right?
Yeah, the grants and aid is totally
Yeah.
unknown, but all of these could be scheduled so that they would be part of the budget for fiscal year 20 if you chose to do that.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Thank you for,
It's almost free money.
Yeah.
As long as we come up with the match. And
Yeah.
particularly for the paving, we've got the match, we've got it in the bank.
if the paving were to happen this year, so we get it and go for it, how much responsibility does the road crew have to help with that? Or is it pretty much turn it over and they do it?
Pretty much they will do it all.
Great.
Yeah.
So then all of the other things you guys wanted to catch up on,
Mhm.
or,
Right, I mean, there might be some overseeing just to make sure they're putting the right thickness of mix down or
yeah,
things of that nature, the day of the pour, the paving, but
We may have to go back and do the shoulders, right? It's depending on what the scope is.
sometimes we have to put the shoulder in,
Oh.
which is, you know, when they pave, there's always a lip
Mhm.
okay,
on the edge, so
Sure.
we fill that in with gravel,
yeah,
but literally that would be a couple of days, maybe a day.
Maybe it would probably be a day.
okay,
So it's not, it wouldn't be a burden on
Great.
the actual work. you know, the other work they have to do.
Any status on the NRCS?
I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
So the next grant is a pending grant, a Better Roads grant for work on Valley Lake Road that we kind of plan to dovetail with the culvert. As of yet, we haven't received award notice or a sense of how much that would cost. I think we budgeted about $28,000 for the project as an estimate.
The budget, when you say we budgeted,
Well, the road crew came up with an amount for the estimate to put on the application.
oh, okay.
That's the overall cost.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The town share would be less than that, be 20%.
Okay.
This was submitted last fall, we've been waiting for the grant award, and we won't hear about the grant award until the legislature again decides how much money they'll have to work.
So this is the one that's been pending ever since Chuck was here?
No, Chuck actually did work on the road, and Greg Parkhurst also did work on the road. But the roads, the ditches are all filled in, the culverts are all plugged. It needs to be done again, basically. And we thought it would be nice to do it
This time.
with your whole yard's gonna be gone, Diane. One big,
pretty much should
That might as well,
stage
yeah.
of material.
you won't
right?
have to mow it ever again. You just have to grade it, that's it. So yeah, so it's unknown the amount, again, usually with these grants, the town match comes from road crew labor, materials, and rental of our town highway equipment. But again, we could put it off until next year, we would have that choice.
But we don't have it yet, so we don't actually.
We don't have it yet to know, but it's pretty certain that we will get it. But
And at which point, we don't have to do it this year? If
We don't
want
have to, no.
Yeah, okay.
So the Valley Lake culvert, that's in the works. We've got a contractor, Brian Voigt of CVRPC is trying to do some kind of long shot phosphorus reduction thing that might give us a little bit of a break in the town match.
Oh,
Nothing, I wouldn't hold your breath on it,
Okay.
it's kind of a long shot, but he's gonna
oh,
give
that's
it a
right,
try.
we budgeted an amount, but then it came in like an extra $20,000.
Yeah, actually, yeah, almost 25,000.
Yeah.
actually. So, okay, so now on to the EWP, which is Emergency Watershed Protection Program, which includes both Cabot Road and Buck Lake Brook as one project, and then a smaller project out on County Road on Chris Byram's property. The design work for the work on Chris's property has been done, and the estimate for the project is about $6,000. It's basically reestablishing the stream base, getting all of the ledgy kind of gravel out of it. And which is also something that we've been thinking that maybe we could do that ourselves. The road crew definitely could do that work, or we could contract it out. The bigger project up here, Ron Rathburn and I cut down the trees that needed to be cut down this weekend. And now that the snow and ice are finally gone out of that ravine, the engineer can come and get a proper assessment of the site to do the design. And she's kind of chomping at the bit to do that, so that'll probably happen soon. And then we'll start talking about whether or not we do the implementation part of that.
What did you do with the trees?
Ron is gonna come up and use them in his wood store.
Great.
New shop. Okay, so that's that one. And then really quickly, we have one other grants and aid grant from fiscal year '25 that will need to be finished. We did use part of it on the Wilbur Road. The road crew is thinking of an East Hill Road project. So that would need to be completed by September 31st of this year. And then the Better Roads inventory, erosion inventory, I'm going to be going to a workshop for that this Wednesday. I had started playing around with the iPad.
You did get it, good.
Yeah, so, and then the Better Roads person is planning on spending a day or two with me in Woodbury doing some training too. So this is going to be, I'm kind of calling it a chip away project. Just kind of, I have this summer and next summer to do it, so I'll get out there when I have the time. And if I don't get half of it done this summer, then I'll start getting nervous. But the end date for that is October 31st, 2027.
Michael, I know you've explained this before, but the road inventory is exactly what?
It's basically assessing the quality of the road for erosion.
Okay.
And also the different, all of the town highways are divided up into segments that are roughly about 330 feet. And so the municipal roads general permit, which is what this road erosion inventory is for, they're mostly concerned with sections of road that are hydrologically connected. But the inventory will establish whether they are or not, and it will also establish those segments of road that aren't. And the grants and aid and the Better Roads project, the grants that we get, they're only, the only sections of road that are eligible for that are the ones that are hydrologically connected. So that's why the inventory is, and the inventory was done back in 2017 when this project started, and it's supposed to be kind of recycled every 7 years. The beauty of us doing it on our own is that this can be an ongoing thing throughout the year, so that we don't have to do a home, we can reassess roads as we go along.
Yeah, once we have this too, it will help us for budgeting. You know, if we have 15 sections of road that don't meet the standard,
Yeah.
we can budget work to do that, or also help planning grants. So the grants help us with paying for the ditching and the culvert replacements and that kind of stuff. So if we have this document, we can go through that and say, oh, we've got 20 culverts to do this summer, and we can budget for it. So it's going to be a really good piece of work once it's done.
And this will be a yearly tool that we'll have.
Yeah, great.
At least as long as I'm alive, until I can pass it on to someone else. Yeah, I had another thought on that, but let's go on. So, this is a new old thing that's happening with the grant. And it's just at the beginning stages, which is where it was at when the funding got pulled. This is the Better Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities. It's a federal application. You may have heard me talk about it maybe a year ago, where this would be to have a formal study of the Buck Lake Brook watershed from the beginning where it runs out of Buck Lake, actually Buck Lake included probably, and as it comes down into the village. This study would be to try to figure out ways to keep the flood of water that comes down from this huge floodplain that's up on the top of the hill before it drops down into the village at Carroll Rays, to try to use that floodplain to keep the water from building up so that it comes charging down the hill and then flooding the village. So that's the whole purpose of this. It would be a study, an engineering study basically. And we had this application pretty much finished and ready to submit to FEMA, VEM, Vermont Emergency Management, when the funding was halted with the new administration. And since then, the Supreme Court has decided that that shouldn't have been done. So the funding is going to be available. It's not available yet, but Vermont Emergency Management is planning on it. Lily helped me get registered with FEMA Go, and helped the folks from CBRPC that will be helping with this grant also be able to log into the Woodbury site so that we can submit this application. So right at the moment, Keith Coven and I are going to review the original application. Probably have that done in a couple of weeks, and then whenever the gets the go-ahead that they can receive applications, then we'll submit it again. So this is down the road quite a ways. Have no idea. I think the original grant was for like $150,000 for the study, but you know, this won't happen for a couple of years, I'm sure.
So it'll be time to budget for our match.
Yeah.
Just don't retire.
Well, no.
Okay.
I'll be at it for a while. So, and that's pretty much it. So,
It's a lot. Nice
it's a
work.
lot.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
One comment,
Mhm.
September has 30 days, not 31.
I was worrying about that. Yeah.
I have one more to do with the road commissioners report.
Okay.
It's just that we started on Flat Street today.
Oh.
For that spring?
Water issue.
Yeah.
So we found a leak in the pipe that was causing all the water all winter long. We patched it, it's repaired, the water has stopped.
Wow.
And now we put a culvert in further down near the guy that's got water in his basement.
Yeah.
So that should take care of all of that. We're gonna have a ditch to feed water to that culvert, and that should be hopefully done tomorrow.
Oh.
And we should be done with that whole problem.
It was pretty wet there.
Yeah.
I know I bring food to the family there.
Yeah, no, it's been horrible. I mean, water's, a couple spots, water's running across the road, just because there's no other place to go.
So did you find you found the pipe that feeds that guy's house?
We have no idea where it's feeding.
Oh,
We just dug where the water was bubbling up,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and there was a lot of water. We had to pump it, we had to, deal with it.
Yeah.
But we did find the break in the pipe
Okay.
and patched it back together. We don't know where it's going, who it feeds, if it feeds anybody. We don't know, but it looked like really good, clean water, and we patched it back with the same type of fittings.
They used to feed all of the houses there back in the day.
Right, that spring feeds all those houses, so, but it's hard to know where they go. And when we found this break, there was water pumping out of both ends of it.
Oh, geez, oh, weird.
You know, usually you have one that's running and one that's not. But these were both running constantly and steady, so we just pieced it back together, and it should be fixed.
We'll be happy.
I think so.
Yeah.
He came home while we were there, and I explained to him what our plan was, and he seemed to be happy.
Yeah.
That
Not
reminds,
that we're gonna have, sorry, not that we're gonna have everybody be happy here, just so if you get a
Yeah.
call,
Yeah,
we made some changes, and it's,
Oh.
I think it's for the better, but somebody else might not share that opinion,
Uh-huh.
so.
that reminds me, driving home from Hardwick today, I valved the spring in the Gulf,
Oh, yeah.
where the spring actually is, and I could see water gushing out of a pipe up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
up on the hillside.
yeah. I haven't walked up to check it out close, but
Right, yeah,
so,
yeah,
yeah.
So you guys haven't gotten your team back together to,
that's coming. The snow now is gone, it's
Yeah.
not 20 below. Last time we were there, it was brutally cold.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah, 10, 15.
We've already built box for it.
We have a new box.
They have in the box, okay.
Yeah.
oh, really? You built a new box already? Oh, nice.
Yes. Yes, I stopped there and kind of looked at it today to get my head around it and kind of got a plan in mind, but I think we're just gonna make it happen
Great.
because everybody wants water.
Mhm.
So, that's it, sorry.
Oh, that's great.
It just,
Thank you.
last week just came to mind as Michael was talking, so.
I did some research on the water tub, and back October 1999, AOT said they were the owners of the water supply.
They've always claimed that,
Yeah.
although they have at some point threatened to make the town take it over, which, you know, probably wouldn't be a bad thing, but they've got the money, so it's better for them to keep it if they.
Yep.
So was that when the spring was started, its existence, Robin, or?
Oh, no, it was going long before 1999.
Yeah.
They claim it. I guess, should we check in
So,
with them?
then say, does that change any sort of our plans moving forward?
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna mind if we go make it work.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe they would go fix it anyway.
I don't think it's on their
Right, they
agenda.
haven't yet anyway.
Yeah.
Right. If they have extra money to fix things, I'd love to have them fix those darn picnic tables down there, what a mess.
I know, I remember as a kid having picnics at those.
Yeah, it was a little, nice little spot there until it, of course, people trashed it and stuff, but still, if they could get that one picnic table straightened back up, might be possible to get some of the neighbors down there to, you know, go down there and weed whack once in a while or something.
I think there's a guy from Hardwick that goes down there and picks up garbage.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Nice.
seen him there doing it.
Oh. That's nice.
All right, thanks, guys. If there's nothing else, we'll
Certainly, no, I'm done.
move on to our town clerk's report. Robin.
Okay, we do, oh, Diana, here is a overweight permit.
So, let's see, Ireland is closed. Oh, look at all the trucks. Yeah. Do you ever see their, and when they light them all up for their parade at,
Yep.
yeah, the Irish thing, St. Patrick's Day?
They lit them up for Christmas time too,
Mm.
drive them around.
Some cabins here. Hold it
Thank you.
So, right on time here.
Okay, we do have the Washington County Sheriff's contract. Per hour, it went up $2 for the regular work-in. For overtime holiday rate, it went from 99 to 102, which is $3. And the mileage went up 2.5 cents.
And that was before the price of gas went up.
Yep. So there are two that, each one of them will have to be signed, and you'll have to figure out how many hours you want in there.
Well, we usually just put in, because we don't know how many hours, we just usually put in the $5,000. So, anybody wanna look at this? Maybe just,
Basically the same, except for last year, it's the same, gotta do that one.
I mean, I'm guessing we, did budget $5,000.
I believe so. Yep.
Yes.
And they rarely meet that 5,000 though, right?
They haven't in the last few years.
Yeah.
They always say they don't have the manpower.
That was true when I was on the select board too.
Yeah.
They've never met it.
We never met.
Yeah.
Same reasons.
Mhm.
So Robin, we would put hours worked per week will be determined according to contract length and contract amount of 5,000.
Mhm.
We'll put that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year it was, FY '25, it was 1,891.
You need both?
Both copies?
Yeah. You need them both signed?
Yes, please.
All right.
And then the next thing I have is the Pickett discharge mortgage. I have a photocopy here where it was signed, notarized. He never received, the lawyer never received the original back. So he would like this re-signed, please,
Original back from where?
from me. Because he had to do something with it before I could record it. And it's out there in mail land somewhere.
Oh, okay. So,
So Chris will have to sign it as the select board person.
Connor Woodbury, right, okay. And then the rest of this is your
Yes.
notary stuff, and this is, okay.
You want to see the one that was signed before?
Yeah. Should I date it? I should date it all the same, right? Or do you want me to redate it as today?
You can date it as today.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
And, thank you. And our dog licenses, as of today, we have 94 dogs licensed for the town of Woodbury, compared to 164 for 2025. And we still do not have that dog registered from,
Saw him. I spoke to him. I could call again. He said he would do it, but yeah, I'll call again.
okay.
Yeah.
So, and we will be sending out second notices for the people that have not got their dogs licensed as of yet.
Okay.
Those will go out this week. And then we have this appointment letter for Kim Silk for the dangerous buildings officer and the pound keeper that you guys approved at the last meeting. And I believe that's what I have for tonight.
Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome.
Steve Comp. Okay, move on with Lily.
All right. Yeah, let's get into it. So, starting with our financial dashboard, which is on page 3. The general fund is currently operating at a budget deficit of $85,439. This is consistent with the intake of delinquent taxes and higher than expected costs in FY26. Highway budget still on track with our budget at $208,028. Overall, our budget remains in a net position of $122,589 year to date when considering both funds. It's also important to note that that $20,000 unassigned fund balance transfer that you guys approved last meeting is not reflected in this report. It will be reflected in the April report. Okay. Any questions on the dashboard before I move forward?
Just a quick question, in delinquent taxes, I know you know what how much we still have in delinquent taxes?
Yes, 116,000 left.
Okay, which is better than the last time, I think.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So total cash on hand right now, sorry, moving too fast. On to the fund balance report on page 4. Everyone there? Great. Total cash on hand is $958,124. Our general fund balance is currently at $17,966. I view this as better than what I expected. We did have a couple of larger delinquent tax payments come in this month, or last month in March, which helped us kind of maintain a higher fund balance and not fall too much further lower. The highway fund continues to maintain a healthy fund balance of a total of $295,583. So looking ahead to next month, we have received our Class 2 and Class 3 funding. So that'll kind of round out the entirety of the highway funding, or the majority of the highway funding. As a reminder, at year end, we will be transferring the necessary unassigned fund balance from the highway fund to the HERF fund to support the FY26 fund balance.
I had a question about that.
Yes.
We approved a certain amount to go into the HERF fund, right? It sounds like you're suggesting that other unassigned fund balances would be going into the HERF.
Yes, so this was a conversation that happened right after we purchased the truck. Y'all had decided that you wanted to kind of bring that her fund balance up and support it with additional highway funding. So we can revisit it if we would like.
So, but if we do that, how can we do this both? I mean, this policy cushion thing and putting extra money into the HERF fund.
So, you see that $295,000 that's in the highway fund? Only $208,000 of that is this year's tax, or this year's budget. So what we said we were gonna raise in FY26 is $208,000. That extra 80 or so thousand was leftover money that carried over into the next fiscal year, which is why we're able to use 20,000 of that, and then hopefully no more than 30,000 of it to the HERF. Does that hit the nail on the head for your question? Does that make it a little clearer? Or am I not?
Well, no, not totally.
Okay.
We'd be putting more into the HERF than what we had budgeted for FY26. Is that right?
Yes. That was,
Because we
And then when
spent,
FY27 kicks in, we'll have another 225 or whatever we
yes,
decided on.
correct.
So, yeah, it seems like
And
a
so,
lot.
the main goal is that if you look at the HERF fund balance right now, we're in a negative position. So that's right under, there's general, highway, and then the HERF.
page 4.
Page 4.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So the goal of moving those extra funds over there was to bring that HERF fund to a zero net position, or close there too.
because we had originally budgeted for a truck at 200,000
Mm-hmm,
and had to spend 300,000 on that truck, we actually purchased it. Is that right?
mm-hmm, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this would all occur when?
Closer to the end of the fiscal year,
Okay,
so early June.
all right. I think it's a good idea, but can we revisit it
Yeah.
again when the time
Absolutely.
comes? And then that can be another conversation that we have
Yeah,
when we get close to the end of the
So
fiscal year.
we do usually have to get voter approval to put money into the HERF. So,
We- I don't remember that.
90,
I wouldn't know.
I don't remember.
Are you sure?
Not if
We have to get voter
It's
approval to
leftover
put money in
budget.
her?
do.
We've never done that before, though.
well, we always budget for it, but if it's
Oh, yeah,
budgeted, that's in the.
It's in the budget, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
but if we've drawn down the HERF below what we have put in, well, we can revisit that
Probably a good
conversation.
idea, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's,
So Diane, I think what you're getting at with having voter approval is if we were going to take more of this current year's taxes raised and funds and put it into the HERF, I believe. But since we're using unassigned fund balance, should be okay.
Is there anyone you can ask
Yeah.
that question at
Absolutely.
VLCT or?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
make sure we're staying within the rules.
of course,
Great.
of course. All right, are we ready to move on? Okay. So, upon closing out the FEMA 2023 flood, so that's closer to the bottom, about negative $25,611. So once we close that out here soon, I'm assuming, we should be getting those state funds and ERAP funds in, to bring that fund back up to zero.
Okay.
they're still holding that money out.
I would also like to highlight our FEMA buyout fund, a little bit higher, it's a zero space. There's a lot of movement that happened in March in this fund. The fact that it has a zero balance is exactly what it should look like,
Yeah.
but it doesn't call a lot of attention to us processing our two buyouts for our properties.
That was one that I had a question about way back. I couldn't understand what that particular fund was for. That somebody gave us $30,000 at some point. And
Wait, what are you talking about?
the FEMA buyout fund.
So that's for the two properties, the old fire department property.
So somebody gave us money in advance, right?
Well, we had to, I don't know if there's ever $30,000, that isn't the amount I remember. We had to go and pay certain things.
Oh, I know we had to
and
pay for the
reimbursed.
appraiser and the
Yeah.
surveyor or whatever,
So
but that wouldn't be that, but
And then
this,
it was, we got the money, I mean, we got it in advance by like a couple of days.
yeah, yeah.
Couple of days.
But it was in and out pretty quick in both
Yes.
cases.
Right, but that wasn't that. This is something on page 40 of the town report. Beginning balance July 24 was $30,000. Well, no, but
What's the
then
title of that?
income was $30,000.
That's gotta be something else.
Well, if it was for FY '24, that was ways back, or 2024?
It's the beginning balance of July 1, 2024, which was zero, and then interest was earned, and there was state income of $30,000, so the
I
fund was new as of July 1, of 24.
don't know what that is though. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know either.
yeah, I don't know what that is. Because the only activity that we've done with regard to the buyouts of the two properties was last spring, title search, the appraisal work in the summer, and then now the actual purchase. So I don't know what that is referencing.
And actually, it says, deduct legal costs $600 and SBO, I'm not sure what that means, grant to her $30,000. So that $30,000 went to her, and I don't know what SBO means.
A select board order is
Okay.
from what I've gathered in the past.
Mhm,
So it must have been a decision that you all made to move
mhm.
additional funds from the FEMA buyout fund to the HERF fund. I can look more into it.
Yeah, it's just- I was confused when I saw this in the town report, and I was,
But I think what Lily's talking about is different. What Lily's talking about in here is just the back and forth with the properties,
Mhm.
for the Shattuck property and the old fire station.
okay, well, it's over and done with, I guess, but the ending balance was $562, so that should still be in here somewhere.
Yeah, she's got 563, so it rounded up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Lily, can I ask, in the FEMA 2024, why are we in the positive there? Is that because,
This is extra ERAF and state funding. So it's kind of sitting there until, I think I mentioned it at our 6-month or our mid-year review. It's sitting there until we decide what we want to do with it.
okay.
Hmm.
And then we have I think it's the 17th, we have a meeting with, we should talk about this at some point. Doesn't need to be during your report. But we have the FEMA funds in a separate fund that in the event they decide to de-obligate those funds, we can send back at least what we have.
Yep,
Great.
and that's under the FEMA MIT fund at the very bottom.
Yep, okay, there it is.
All right, Diana, I'll look into that 30,000 just to double check. And I'll get back to you guys on that. So also want to call out our 2 new funds, the VTrans Structure Grant and Better Roads Grant. These are our grant funds. As I had previously mentioned, we're taking our grants out of the general highway operating budget and moving them into their own fund. So just letting you guys know, it's gonna start popping up on our funds report from now on.
So these are items that we've spent so far to be
Yes.
reimbursed hopefully someday.
Yep,
Got
yep. And with these, the majority of the highway grants that we get, we expense money and then we get reimbursed. You're gonna see a pattern of a negative balance, then moved up to a higher balance, and then 0 balance.
Which sometimes makes the budget kind of off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having it separate should make it easier to keep track of, I think.
Hopefully, that is the goal. Last thing that I want to mention, kind of what Chris was noting at, that 422,254 in the FEMA MIT fund. We say total cash on hand is 958,000, but truly, I think at this point, we're all expecting that they're probably going to want to take that amount back.
Yep.
We're looking at, $422,000 less than that.
Hopefully not all of it.
Hopefully.
They're gonna
Fingers
take, they're
crossed.
gonna take all of that, 422,
You
yeah,
gonna let them?
I don't know.
So we're
Federal
gonna have to
government.
come up with $100,000 somewhere to pay for all those.
Well, no,
stuff.
I thought you meant the 422.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, they're gonna take all that.
But part of that is what we already spent.
No, it's in addition to that, I think.
I don't think so.
Right, that 420,
No, that-
we will owe another 105 after that, right?
Yes, if they want to take the total amount back.
They're definitely taking 422 and possibly taking another 105.
The hope is that they don't take 105 because then we'll have to make that up. Or talk to them about, give us a year,
Yeah.
2 years, to try and mitigate the harm on the community that would cause. Alright, yep, so, other than that, looking at the budget versus actual report, no specific item lines require attention. Following next month, we are gonna see a bump in our insurance cost as the next quarter comes through. But we'll also hopefully see a bump with our Swenson's payments as well coming through. Next, any questions before I move on? Okay.
I have a question, but it's not really for you. Alfie? Usually at the end of the year, you try to use up some of this money on things that we need. You got your finger on that?
Yeah,
More culverts or change, whatever?
yeah, no, yes, I will try to work on that, one, before I go, and two, help Peter along with that,
Good.
process. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So I have decided to officially appoint Bonnie Collins as the new assistant treasurer. And I'd like the board to approve a new hourly rate of $25 an hour, which is just a small bump, about 41 cents,
Yeah.
just rounding it
Are
out.
you gonna still use Tom at all?
Tom is still gonna help us kind of during the transition period, but when Bonnie is up and ready to go, then I think.
She'll be doing what Tom was doing,
Yeah.
plus filling in for you and things like that, yeah.
Correct.
Well, I think $25 is fair for that, it's not gonna be very much, so.
The delinquent tax collector, so Ron has indicated that he's willing to do the delinquent tax position at a rate of $32 an hour. So this reflects a decrease, a change, just wanted to let you all aware of it. It's about a $3.44 decrease from what we had originally been paying.
For what the last delinquent tax collector was paid.
So on page 14, we have our annual mowing contract.
Is this something you bucked out of the file, is it the same one we've used
Same one,
in the past? Okay.
same one we've used. The only change in this contract is changing year 2025 to year 2026.
Okay, the insurance amount, has that always been the same? Do you remember that at all? Yeah. It seems like a lot.
Where do you see this?
The
Insurance,
Oh, insurance, there.
page 16, general liability insurance.
I can
Maybe
ask,
if anybody's in there, in the business, they probably have that.
But that's that, you didn't change that
Yeah.
either. So that was what was in there last year.
Yep.
And we have 3 folks that traditionally we've sent this to, I
yes,
believe.
correct.
Yeah.
So I can send it out, and then Robin, if you want to post it as well, I think that'd be great. And then hopefully get some bids in for you guys to open on the 27th.
So, okay, good. The town properties, I have an issue with that.
Okay.
Town property, the town office, okay. Town park, located at the intersection of Cabot Road. The town hall and in front of the town hall should be one, and there should be also the empty, can't really call it a park, but the project, the land between the fire department and the buyout property. I don't know who was doing that last year, but I'm not.
Isn't that just part of the town hall?
No, this is on the other side of the road
Okay.
where the old store came out of. And then they put that big guardrail there. And there's probably, I don't know if they can get to the other side of the stream, they probably have to figure out how to go through the fire department to get to the far side of the stream. I don't think the far side of the stream was mowed last year unless maybe Roy Demers was doing it.
I don't know if Richardson did it or not. The year before that, no, 2 years before that, right? Because Tetros had it for 2 years now?
Sounds right.
Because the first year, it didn't get done when, Mike,
Pedro?
yes,
No,
when he did it.
yeah,
He couldn't do that side because they had just laid down that, whatever you call that, roll-out grass thing there.
Oh, it wasn't,
And it hadn't
yeah, okay,
taken yet.
okay, yeah.
So that
So
year it
the
didn't
knit,
get
yeah,
mowed,
Okay.
just for the simple fact that it hadn't rooted yet.
Does that netting just evaporate,
I think it
Dissolve
might like
or-
dissolve.
Yeah. have to bring-
biodisintegrates.
what?
It
Breaks down.
biodegrades,
Okay, oh, okay, so it'll get mowed up or itself.
just rots away.
It doesn't have to be raked up or anything. Okay,
So do
thank
we
you.
have any idea when the Shattuck property will come down?
Well, we're gonna be talking about that.
Yeah, let's
Well,
go.
the only reason why I'm asking is because if we know that date, then your park can go from Cabot Road all the way to the fire
Yeah.
station and it's one property,
Oh,
right?
yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be ready for mowing this year.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna talk about that.
Okay. But yeah, next year, cool. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
so, yeah, it might not be ready for mowing this property, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's supposed to be, it's on a pretty fast timeline if they have their way.
But, okay.
But it probably won't be, if it does come down this year, it's gonna be pretty raw.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So, I guess you could call it the park, the other, the South Park, I was calling it South Park. The southern part of the park.
Okay.
Just call the piece of, between the highway and the town hall, that can be same as in front of the town hall. I mean, with the town hall.
Okay.
And, the other one should be the, I don't know what to call it, south part of the park, I guess.
Okay. Okay, I'll make that change and then we'll be ready to go.
Okay, great. Do we also put that on Front Porch Forum in case there's anybody else that is interested besides us?
Can't hurt.
I think that'd be great. And then the last thing that I have on here is the policy discussion. So what was on the agenda, the fund balance policy and the personnel policy, both start on page 19. I just want to give, you want me to give you a quick recap before we dive into it?
Please.
Okay. So the new fund balance policy applies to the town's primary operating budgets, right? That's going to be highway and general. The policy establishes expectations for maintaining an appropriate fund balance to manage risk, address unforeseen expenses, and support long-term financial stability. It outlines how the select board would respond to year-end surpluses or deficits. So the GFAO, the Governmental Finance Officers Association, recommends a minimum of unassigned fund balance of 17% of the following year's operating budget. Based on how Woodbury is set up, when we collect our taxes, when our largest expenses are, this policy sets the target to about 20%. It's also intended to be reviewed annually. If we find that 20% is way too much or not enough, we can change that at year end. And it also includes language regarding me reporting to you guys each year what our current unassigned fund balance is, so we can make those decisions.
So is this something new? I mean, my understanding in the past was when we have money left over at the end of the year, it just becomes part of the next year. We don't budget for a year-end balance, right? I don't think we ever did that.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily be budgeting for it.
Okay.
But I mean, we never necessarily always hit exactly how much we budget for, right? Where you're too high with revenue, too low with revenue, too high with expenses, too low with expenses. This unassigned fund balance is money that's kind of left over and carried over year to year. And it's just, this policy is just giving you guys an outline of like, we're gonna look at this unassigned fund balance. If there's more, we can use it to reduce taxes, we can put it into the HERF fund or other reserve funds. But essentially, it holds me accountable saying, hey, I'm going to report to you guys that we have this unassigned fund balance. And you guys saying, okay, we're either gonna leave it be, or we're gonna use it, what have you.
Okay, I just didn't like the idea of budgeting extra so that we could have 20%. I mean, how many people in Woodbury have, 3 months worth of money set aside for, just in case? You can't necessarily afford it if we have to budget for it, but if it's just, unassigned fund balance.
I mean, I think budgeting for it, given the circumstance, could be appropriate. If we end the fiscal year with zero money in the general fund and zero money in the highway fund, we're gonna have to take out a loan anyways. We're gonna have to use a tax anticipation note. So we're gonna have to raise money. So instead of going out for a loan, having to pay interest, so on and so forth, we can slowly try and build up that fund balance. So if we do go over budget, or if something unexpected does happen, we'll have a little bit of money to be able to manage what's going on.
But effectively, this is giving us guidance. It's not necessarily, I guess it is prescriptive, but it doesn't tie our hands in that
Yeah.
if we're in a tight spot and we need to help reduce the tax rate or whatever, we have that flexibility to do it.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind, we're not paying attention to the policy that would recommends us to keep 20%. Am I right?
Yeah.
That was more. That was a phrase as a question.
Yeah,
If you think about it that way.
if I report that we have 10% unassigned fund balance and everyone says, fine, that's totally fine, that's just how we're gonna move into the next year, then we don't do anything about it. Yeah, definitely, it does not bind our hands in any way.
I like this because it requires Lily to tell us that, and so that we can then make a decision that is informed about whether we're actually going to do it or we're not doing it, or where we are.
I mean, we've always, as far as I know, had enough money to go that, July, August, September, until the taxes come in.
Which is essentially a fund balance. We just
Really?
haven't called it that.
Yeah, we haven't called it that, you haven't reported on it,
Right.
so,
Right.
it leaves some room for errors, when you don't report on it, but,
I'm all for this, personally.
Sounds smart.
and essentially, just a guideline saying that I'm gonna look at it, you guys are gonna look at it, we're gonna have a discussion about it. And it also helps too, with, if we do have a surplus and we wanna do, I don't know, maybe something nice with the town hall and repaint it. We can take that unassigned, make it into committed funds and paint the town hall, do something nice with it,
Do we need to, I guess my next question is, we're just talking about this now, but if we want to make this so, and we want to approve this policy, where does it get recorded? How do we,
I believe you'd have to sign it and say the date that it's adopted, and then it would just become a part of our town policies.
okay,
So treasurer usually keeps a record, I'll keep a record of it, clerk usually keeps a record of it as
Okay.
well in the town office.
so you'll draft a policy for us to approve at a meeting?
Well,
Is
that's what this
that's
guy,
it?
yep.
That's- all right,
Yep,
sorry. Thank you.
And there's a copy kept in the vault.
Okay,
In the policy book.
Yes.
all right, thank you.
so moving on to, do we want to talk about, before I move on, do we want to talk about approving it at the next select board meeting?
This policy?
Yeah, I can bring a final version of it.
Okay.
Sure. You'd rather wait until the next meeting?
Well, it's just to get a copy that we can sign.
Yeah, I guess I
Okay.
didn't bring that
Not
this time,
in
but
the
I,
third meeting.
All right, so that'll be next meeting.
great. So moving on to the personnel policy agreement by independently elected officers. So what we really want to do with this first step of the personnel policy is agree that we want one personnel policy that has this amendment at the end of it, which will outline the benefits that elected officials are going to have. This way, instead of having two personnel policies, one for appointed highway crew and one for elected officials, we have one set one with an amendment at the end.
So have you been working with that existing policy?
Yes,
Okay.
yep, so the existing policy, not much has been changed, except just bringing out the portion about elected officials and putting it as an amendment
Okay.
instead. And then with this amendment, the select board would need to either discuss among yourselves or discuss with the, elected officials.
I don't know if you ever got an electronic copy of the last one that we approved a year or so ago. If not, I mean, I think John was the last one that had a good electronic copy.
I got a copy.
So okay, so
Yeah.
you got it, okay.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, the board would need to decide what benefits, PTO benefits, insurance benefits goes on this
Alright.
elected official amendment. And then once we have that decided, we can kind of move forward onto looking at the personnel policy, brick by brick, potentially, what needs to be added, what needs to be taken out.
So tonight, we're basically agreeing that we're gonna move forward, or we're not, with the structure, the way that you have it presented, as an amendment to the, I don't know if it's an is it an amendment or an addendum to the policy for elected officials?
Correct. And then, eventually filling this.
Filling that out,
Yeah.
yep. I like the idea of having one personnel policy, as opposed to two separate ones. Michael, can I ask you to weigh in at all?
Yeah, no, this is much cleaner and simpler than what we had before. And if we can have just a one policy with the amendment that deals with the elected officers, that seems like the best case scenario to me.
So is this, under insurance benefits, you would list, what is it, the eye care and the some
Eye care,
other-
dental, life and disability is what
Life and
we've heard of
disability.
now. Yeah.
Oh, dental too, okay, yeah, okay. So, that could change. Are there any other besides the first paid time off and a little bit of insurance?
Right now, no.
No, okay.
I would argue that there probably you should look at the Beamer's policy for elected officials. I believe in our old policy, it was full-time people receive Beamers, but the state says 24 hours or 1,040 hours a year should be Beamers,
Oh,
which is a
okay,
retirement
okay.
program. So that's the only other one that I could see that's probably should have been in place earlier.
Beamers,
Yep.
B-E-M-E-R-S.
Yes, correct.
And that's,
About municipal
the
retirement.
town pays a percentage of the weekly or
Yep,
every payroll and
and the employee pays
the
as well.
employees pays. Okay.
What do you think, John?
I don't feel like I've got enough in my head to really say yay or nay. I mean, it seems, on the face of it, it seems to make sense to simplify things when you can, but I also don't really know what I'm going to argue for simplifying, so.
Do you want me to, John, I can send you both versions of the personnel policy
Yeah,
that
if
we
you
have
would,
right now.
if you would,
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that.
Both versions?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
So right now, we have 2 personnel policies. We have one super updated one for the highway crew,
Yeah.
and then one for elected officials that I
Oh,
don't
that
think
old one?
that's- Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
God, I didn't realize that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to
Yeah.
put them in one.
Mhm.
And these, section 4, 7, 13, these are various sections of,
Sections that just don't necessarily apply to elected officials because we're not technically employees.
okay. So these are all sections in the policy,
Mhm.
Do apply to the
and,
highway.
and those would be in part of what you're gonna send me?
Yes, correct. Most termination, things like that,
Yeah, it would just,
paid leave.
I'd feel better about saying yea or nay on something if I actually have a better understanding of it. I think I understand it in concept, and I don't think that I have any concern about it, but I also
Well,
feel pretty ignorant.
As a member of the select board, you should have the privilege of reading the
Yes.
personnel policy
Oh,
that
I'm
some of
sure.
us have put a lot of work into over the years, so.
I'm sure.
Why was it as 2 policies?
Well, I always thought the old one was superseded except for the part about benefits. And that's what we've been working towards for how many months now? Months now, so.
The original one that when I was on the select board that we started dealing with it was just one policy, but there were sections that would say, this also applies to the town clerk and the town treasurer, so, and if you didn't know where those were, it was hard to find. And so it got to be kind of confusing about what applied to the town clerk and the town treasurer and what didn't.
Sure.
But it was all in one thing, and then we tried to separate it, and we got the employee part pretty much
The road.
finished, yeah, but we never really finished the other one for the town clerk and the town treasurer. That was where it got stuck in my day. But it was confusing mostly for the town clerk and the town treasurer to find the parts that applied to them. And then it had, just different language about prorated, et cetera. It got kind of confusing that way.
So this would in effect basically say, bag that, all the policies apply unless they specifically say they don't.
Right.
And the highway one is much more updated than the elected official, I think, like I said, 2018, yeah. So,
So Lily and Michael, does this give enough? Are you looking for more direction than this, or?
I think as long as you guys are good with adopting this and then, making the decisions of what's gonna be in that insurance, that PTO, so on and so forth, then I'm good to, look at the entirety of the personnel policy, which I don't think that will need much work on since you all did a lot of work on it.
I think the big part will be to establish the number of hours that the town clerk and the town treasurer work. 'Cause in the old one, it was like 20 hours
Based
or
on,
18 hours.
18 or 20. So
Um,
this would mean that everyone who gets these benefits would have to say how many hours a week they're working, and then
I think, the town clerk or the town treasurer would need to sit down with the select board and say, okay, I am working on average, whatever number of hours per week, so that it reflects the actual work that they're doing and the number of hours, the number of hours that they're spending, rather than the arbitrary figure that was in the
Right. Right.
So there'll be, and that can change over time, I would think, and it could be different for the town clerk or the town treasurer. It was sort of just like one figure based on 4 hours a day, 4 days of the week, and 2 hours for an evening. So that was the 18 hours. That's what came up with. But doesn't really sound like that's the reality anymore at the town office, so.
So does this address the assistant clerk and treasurer, assistant?
Assistant clerk and treasurer would be in this amendment as well,
Okay.
kind of at the end.
So there would be would there be a separate? So would there be a separate page for each elected official? So for instance, there would. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think this amendment would be specific to each of the elected officials and not across the board.
And for these purposes, assistant town clerks and assistant treasurers are considered elected officials.
No.
They're not. So they would fall under the employees.
Well, yes, but they're hired by the clerk or treasurer,
Right.
with the approval of pay and or benefits from the select board.
So would they also be exempt from these different sections? I guess it depends.
You know, that's a good question, Chris.
Because if they're
I don't necessarily
employees,
know.
right?
Yeah,
So that kind of gets to who are the employees of?
yeah,
So are they employees of the town or are they employees of the clerk or treasurer?
yeah.
Yeah.
Which gets a little weird, but.
Yeah, it's kind of odd
Yeah.
combination.
I will look into that.
I would think that, I mean, most organizations would be employees of the town, but they just report to, but, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be any different than your road commissioner.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be worth knowing how they fit within the structure.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Okay, thanks. All right,
That's it.
all right, thank you. Can I make a recommendation, or a suggestion about, maybe if John, and we can talk about skips, if we can go to the appointments. I know Graham was here. I thought this portion would be a little bit faster. But maybe we could do appointments next, and, because I know that's the reason you're here. And, I know it's riveting stuff, but,
If we make you stay too long, you might just.
I might change my mind.
all right.
Okay, so,
Move on, we'll do appointments and then come back to, sorry, with you, buyouts.
so we have, some new, slots open. We have a Board of Adjustment slot. We still have several planning commission slots. We have zoning administrator. The other ones that we listed last time were, the tree warden and a couple others that we're probably not gonna find anybody for. Although somebody did mention town energy coordinator.
Yeah, I sent them, I got some information from VLTC and I sent them
Oh,
to,
okay, good.
I haven't heard anything back from him, I'll check with him to see if he's still,
Yeah.
and see if I can twist his arm or anything else if,
The our FEMA contact person, I don't know if we're gonna be able to find anybody for that. You talk to Danielle at all?
I think she'll say no, but I'm happy to talk to her. What is, he's recovery officer, is that the exact title? FEMA recovery officer?
Flood recovery officer, maybe.
Yep.
Appointed town officials.
I was just recovery officer.
E911 coordinator?
Well, that's
Yeah.
another
It's a
one,
different-
yeah,
yeah.
that's another one. E911 coordinator.
He's not listed in here as the FEMA person, just as 911.
Oh, recovery officer, no, recovery officer
Yeah,
is
okay.
here. So we need recovery officer, we need zoning administrator, we need E911 coordinator. I guess maybe it's time to put out an advertisement.
Right. Front porch forum post.
So, have any applicants in the audience?
Well, if I may, I'd like to put my name in the hat for zoning administrator. 15-year inspection veteran, Palm Beach County, 1.5 million residents. Martin County, 140,000 residents we served. I think I can handle 800, possibly, maybe. So I really have a lot of municipal experience in zoning, permitting, plan review. That's what I did.
Yeah.
So if I could do it for my town that I love to live in, that would be cool.
Hired.
Next,
Yeah.
That's it, that's it.
you wanna throw your hat in for something else?
Yeah, I mean, on the same vein, if Robin's gonna be leaving us, then, I wouldn't mind learning what she does and how to do it. Because again, I've had the experience and the Sally experience, I've answered tens of thousands of phone calls nicely. So I think I can handle it, with a little bit of training, I think I could absolutely handle it, so.
Thanks. I did see something come in the email, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me,
Okay, great.
that's me. That show, it's primarily based around my past 15 years have been municipal building departments. I worked for an engineering firm for municipal building departments. So I never really left, just the money increased, that was all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my trade. Other than that, it's carpentry and construction for 10 years, so.
I told Graham that for a number of years, I did town clerk and zoning administrator at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We do have one other person who was kind of interested in zoning administrator, but I haven't checked with her lately. But if he was willing to do both.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be in the office, shouldn't be too difficult. I'm hoping. So, the one time I was in the office, I was really impressed with Robin's knowledge. I mean, it was vast,
Thank you.
and it was a pleasure to go in there and find stuff. And being in those situations before, I felt a little bit at home, just a little bit. But you know, I definitely look for the opportunity to learn more.
Yeah, we put in the ad that people who are interested can submit their letter of interest and qualifications. I think we said 24th, which is the end of next week, so.
Yep, my stuff's in,
All right.
so we're good to go.
And the zoning administrator piece, I don't know, is there a more formal, people expressed interest and
In the past, zoning administrator has been more like an arm twisting thing,
all right, so, yeah. All right.
like pleased.
That would make it convenient for residents or landowners.
Yeah,
All came in at the
Right.
same time.
yeah, come in,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, and all the records are in there.
Yes.
Yeah. So should we give them the go-ahead on that one? Talk to Bob and,
My only concern, and it's just because there's someone else that expressed is, I don't have no
Oh,
idea what
yeah,
level of
okay,
interest
yeah.
she has. Well, I think it was it Bonnie?
yeah,
So I have no, but I just feel like we ought to close the loop
mm-hmm,
with her to
mm-hmm.
find out, was it like something that she actually wanted, or was
Mhm.
something like, well, if you can't find anyone, I guess.
It was kind of, yeah.
That would be, it would be good if, I would just want to be a little bit more comfortable
Sure,
about
yeah,
that before
yeah.
we just went,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if it was something like, yeah, I want to do this, then we, yeah,
Mhm.
I would just want to know that before we,
Yeah.
that's all.
Can
Okay,
we reach out to her and
Yeah,
make
that's
sure, and then we
absolutely
get
fine.
it, just to,
I
yeah,
don't want any animosity.
yeah, no,
Zero.
yeah. Fair enough,
So,
yeah,
Yeah,
so we'll
right.
touch base with her and give
okay.
you a call.
sounds good.
Yeah, sorry to make you wait so long,
I know.
although it's probably pretty good,
Is that for zoning
To know.
administrator or for town clerk? Or-
zoning administrator.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that she had expressed some interest. Now I know, is this the same Bonnie that you're hiring as assistant
Yes.
treasurer? Yeah. But yeah,
She's also a lister.
Mhm.
yeah, so I just want to
Yeah,
close,
she's
we'd like to
also-
close the loop on that. I
Yeah.
figured it's probably fine.
Okay,
but
yeah, I emailed her today.
Better not to.
step on any toes.
Yeah,
We don't have to.
no problem.
Only the toes we have to.
Probably not a lot of, well, applications might start coming in the spring, so.
Thanks,
It
Greg.
is spring.
Yeah, thanks for stepping up.
Barely.
No worries.
You wanna be town health officer?
I was gonna throw in the E911, but I thought that was a little too much. Although E911s can't be a lot of work. Skip had that down to a science.
I have no idea.
Don't get too many new addresses a year, but we'll hold on to that for now.
We'll see how things go.
Okay, great.
All right, anything else under appointments?
No, I guess not.
All right, let's go back on, we're about an hour behind, to the update on the buyouts.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually do LEMP first. I'll send you this electronically. I just need this is EMB hat. So you can feel free to look through there. I started to update it and then I got drug away. You don't need to look at it now.
Okay.
That's just a hard copy for you guys. Feel free to, it's due by June 1, I believe. It's gonna get submitted to the state. So if you feel like there's anything that ought to be there, I know there's some stuff that's out of date that I'll be updating, but that's that. Update on buyouts. So we have, I believe all the purchasing stuff is all sorted out now, right? Except for the $15 that someone has to send back to the state or something?
It will be settled tomorrow morning,
Okay,
yes, I warned.
And then I have a financial report that I've got to send back as well. Could you send me a copy of the check, just a scan or something? They asked for a copy of the check with the financial report that they need me to sign.
For the $15?
Yeah.
Yes, I can do that.
Just, I think it's because what's gonna happen is it's going to go back and their financial people are gonna be like, what the hell is this?
Okay,
I think it's just to make it clear. Some reason there's an error on one of the things which resulted in a $15 overpayment, so we need to send $15 back to the state so that they can, all the bean counters can be happy. But if you could just do that, then I'll just send it with the financial report that they sent me. Once those went through, they sent another little packet and they said, congratulations, now you have to have it all tore down within 90 days.
Oh,
Yeah. And then right after that, they said, here's the process to request an extension if you don't.
Okay.
But anywho, so they sent a number of documents, demolition checklist, a sample scope of work, and then also a, what is this? I can't remember. It's basically a blank RFP. So that was what they sent out to start to help us with that process.
so that's a blank RFP, that's gonna be a big help.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll have to put that through the purchasing policy.
I would expect so. So apparently they've adopted FEMA's policy on that, which is 90 days from property transfer is when they expect the demolition to be done. They didn't bother telling me that until after the purchase went through. I wasn't expecting it quite like that.
Oh,
But I went ahead and brought copies, hard copies for you guys if you're interested. There's a few exceptions that we'll probably want to talk about and figure out, like, that may need to factor in and things that we might want to do. For example, if we want to have the town hall be on the generator, like, now's the time to move it, because right now the old fire station is on the generator, comes down from the school. And it's literally on the town hall side, so I don't think it would be a big deal to pull that off and move that and have that all transfer switch and everything else. And so if
you mean like the wiring in the box or whatever?
Yes.
Really? Oh,
the
okay.
box is inside the building and the
Yeah.
wiring is literally right there on the outside of the building.
Okay.
It comes down, it wouldn't be a whole lot of effort to move it, put it on the town hall if we wanted to have the town hall be on the generator.
That would make sense because that's one of your emergency
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Is the new fire station has its own
It
generator?
has its own generator.
What?
It has its own generator.
Okay.
But,
So we can,
so that's one thing, if we wanted to do that, we could probably do that at any time, that's not really contingent on anything.
how big of a job is that? Just need any electrician?
I think probably any electrician,
Yeah.
and I don't think it would be that big of a job,
Mhm.
because, like, just looking at how Price reusing,
Is it buried
no.
from the generator to the,
No, it comes down from the annex, it comes off, I think it's off the corner of the annex, and it's in the air,
okay,
and
Oh,
it goes
really?
across the stream
Yep.
to the corner of the fire station,
Oh,
and it runs under the eaves up to the front of the building, and then the switch and everything is inside the building. It's all right there, you could probably just pull it off and
Yes.
string it over.
oh,
Now, seeing that's a FEMA buyout, can that be voluntary work?
moving the
Yeah.
switch?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could do that. I mean, at this point, the buildings, the towns, and the town can do what it wants to it.
Okay,
oh.
Now, that wouldn't be covered under the grant. The only thing that's covered under the grant is destroying things. But now's the time to do that if we wanted to do
Right.
that.
So, yeah, so we'd have to just pay extra for that.
We would just have
That's
to
a- yeah,
have the work done,
yeah.
yeah. And
Or
like
it
I
could be
said,
done-
either that, if we can find electrician that would donate time,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that, my understanding is that we could do that at any time
Mhm.
between now and.
Before demolition?
Yeah. Other considerations on this, there's been a request from the community. Elizabeth Stratton asked about there being an external faucet, like a frost-proof faucet. I know, so that's out there. We're also going to have to deal with the water, because currently the captive air tank and switch and all that stuff is in the fire station. So that will need to come out, and the water lines will need to be reconfigured. That would probably make sense to do that in conjunction with the demolition. Because at some point, that's all gonna be tore up. It's all gonna be opened up anyway. So kind of like, if that could be coordinated. And I'm just putting this out there, because when we talk about the scope of work, it might be worth working this in the scope of work. Now, Vermont Emergency Management's position is that's all construction, so they wouldn't pay for the moving of the water tank. But there's
The
gonna be-
water line, you mean?
well, the water tank.
Oh, there's
The
a
captive
tank?
air tank is in the fire station. Yeah, so there's a switch that, just like in your house, most people have a captive air tank. And when
Oh.
it goes down to a certain level, it triggers the pump to turn on. The
Okay.
pump charges it back up, and that's how the fire station, the town hall, and the
The post
post
office
office are all fed their water right now.
So all those buildings are dependent on that one pressure tank?
Yes.
So where's that, so we gotta figure out where's that gonna go? Where you have to
Into the
figure out?
town hall?
Probably makes sense for it to go into the town hall.
Yeah.
But, like I said, as far as the coordination of it, probably would be when everything's tore up. You pull it out, tear it out, then it's all excavated, hook in the lines and put it back together.
I wonder if it's possible because they're probably not gonna allow us to put that in with this scope of work in this bid. So if that could be contracted separately with the same person who's.
What I would do is what I would like to do, because I don't even know anything about this stuff, but I would like to have it as a package, like there are two scopes of work, but you're responsible for both of them.
Yeah,
And that way we can just keep the billing separate.
yep, that makes sense.
The only other thing is, there was a thought to, add parking space over at the Shattuck property. Basically where his driveway is and the house, there was a thought that you know, put in a gravel pad for extra parking.
I read that whole long thing today about what you can and can't do
Yes.
with your buyout property, and
Yeah.
oh my God, they want you to check with FEMA to plant trees.
Yeah.
But I think a few parking spots
I mean, yeah, there's
are
already
impervious, so,
big, well, you could put it as gravel and,
right, yeah.
You know, when you,
Not
do
big.
the Shattuck property, you better remember there's an artesian well in that driveway.
there's a big pit where the driveway used to be.
But there's an artesian well in there.
And that'll be in the scope of work. The contractor will have to cut it off, fill it.
Yeah, but I didn't know if that was in any of your paperwork, that there's,
Probably not. It's not gonna be any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's, in the scope of work, there's things for like wells, for instance, what's expected to be done with them.
Mhm.
So,
And probably a septic tank out back in addition to the failed leach field.
yeah, the septic tanks, the option are remove them or fill them. Those are the options.
because a lot of people wouldn't expect an artesian well to be in a paved driveway.
Yeah. I,
So probably filling it that close to the stream might not be a good idea.
yeah,
I don't know,
but that's something we'll have to,
have to be, maybe if it's pumped out, it's clean.
Well, no, I think the state forces you to fill it with Mennonite.
With what?
It's a product, like it's a cement,
Uh-huh,
it goes down in there and it hardens.
oh,
So the well is no good, there's no water coming out of it, no water, I mean,
oh,
it's like concrete.
yeah. it's
and how about
basic.
the septic tank?
Septic, they'll want you to smash the top in and fill it in.
Oh,
Pump any liquid that's
Yeah.
in it, and then smash it in and fill it with gravel or dirt
Yeah.
or whatever.
And a lot of those things are actually in their little sample
Oh,
scope of work.
nice.
I mean, there's options, so we would have to say which one is appropriate, so.
So does it make sense to just automatically apply for the extension?
No,
No.
I
Okay.
don't think so. Because at this point, if I were to apply for the extension, they'd say you haven't done anything, it's not time yet.
Okay.
So I think what we need to do is start on our merry way down this process, and then we could say, as the time gets closer,
if you can't do it.
if we're not getting, if it's not lined up. But in the meantime, I think we need to start working on this, so.
Great.
I know, Keith Coburn, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's offered to help with some of the stuff. That's kind of where we're at. We have the property now, we need to go and work up the particulars to put out the RFP to get the rest of it done. My first questions were about those other little extras. Moving the power, because that's on us and our decision. Whether we want to, any other extras, like I said, the outdoor faucet, how to.
Outdoor faucet on the town hall?
Yeah, or like I said, if so.
Is that so that people can water the flowers?
That
For the
was
ice rink.
That was the ice rink resurface.
Oh.
That's why the request was made.
Oh,
They don't fill it, but they let them
Yeah, because historically, what's happened is the fire department fills it. They
Yeah.
they bring a truck over, and they drop a pump in a line,
Yeah.
fill it up the stream. I guess Irish rink is used in, there's a closed bib on the outside of the fire station that they use to resurface it. That's my understanding, and that was the request, that we have some way of doing that. And like I said, the other thing was the parking space. Because it's on that list, I'll have to go and put a request in for that, I guess.
well, yeah, and the list that specifically was missing, I mean, it was like a list of what you can do and what you can't do, and then there was, said, okay, you can do a park, but there was nothing about parking, so.
There was one on, I don't know if you were on
Can't
the
be
email
paid.
that I was sent about how to whole different process for anything that you do. Anyway, I just figured I would see what people's opinion are before we start working on the rest of the stuff.
I'm sorry, that last thing you said?
Just figured I'd ask what the opinions were on the various items before I start working on
Okay.
the rest of this.
So the water tank would have to be in the part of the town hall that's always heated, isn't there, in the back part, isn't there always heat in that part of it?
Yes.
The whole building is set at 55.
Oh, okay, whole building, okay.
There's gonna need to be some, John and I looked at it when we were, at the last, when we were ballot clerks over there.
Oh.
And, there's gonna need to be some extra insulation work that's done on that.
Mhm.
You can see you can see daylight, and if you look down when the
Yeah,
water comes
really.
in,
Uh-huh.
you can see right through the floor, you can see daylight,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, Diana, I suggested the panels like we talked about around the outside of it.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. When's that gonna happen, but.
And that,
Or to keep the wind out of it.
that water line comes right up out of the ground, you know, goes through empty space, and it's got heat tape wrapped around it
Uh-huh.
to keep it from freezing.
I mean, that pressure tank is probably not very big, is it? I mean,
No. Yes, about that.
Yeah,
Not very big. I think there's space in the back room, the furnace room that would probably.
might have to get rid of that little white table.
How,
So we're
how
probably,
long is heat tape good for?
that's a good question.
Until-
Looks
Because
like it's been
as
there a
long
long
as
time.
I've been maintaining the town hall, I haven't used heat tape. Paul has shut the water off in the fire department.
Yeah, but I think he may have shut it off, but I don't know if he drains it back. Maybe it drains all the way back. But
Unless it doesn't freeze.
yeah, I'll look again. But there was definitely heat tape wrapped around it. I'm not sure if it was plugged in or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's probably, I bet you. I don't know. It's probably like at least 10, 15 grand worth of work.
Which part?
The moving the power, putting in the
Yeah, I don't know.
pressure tank.
What'd you say?
It's $10 or $15,000 worth of work.
$1,000? Whoa.
I might be wrong. That'd be my gut.
No, I think you're pretty close there.
Yeah.
Electricians are not cheap anymore, and plumbers are right up there too.
Even that transfer switch is going to be $1,500.
Did you know someone?
Maybe. I know a lot of people.
All right, I think it's worth going up 2 scopes, and then, like I said, keeping them separate. And
Do you
even
want me to reach out about the power?
to
Get a quote on moving it?
sure. Yeah.
Any suggestions?
If it is, then
Tim
again,
Higgins
it's
is-
over $8,000.
You know Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm limited.
Yeah. I think he.
Another one to
Get it
check
under
with is
$8,000.
Graydon Neal.
Grady Neal?
Graydon,
Grady?
yep,
Reed is an electrician?
yes he is.
Really?
Yeah, for a while he was on the fire department, I don't know if he still is or not.
Oh.
I think so. I think he got too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
that's
on his
right.
own? He's not, I mean, like Kevin, I know works for some company, right? Kevin Neal, so.
Yeah, Kevin worked for Benoit, I don't know if that's who Graydon works for or not.
Oh.
He works for FNS.
Is that what it is?
Is what I think that's what his truck says.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unless there's anything else, we should probably keep moving. I know Alfie's probably ready to go home.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Meaning, like we shouldn't wait. We should move on to Swenson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, is there recovery officer report? I guess we can't really do anything.
I read it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Michael, did you
But-
just have the?
No, I didn't get it.
Is it
Yeah.
an email? 'Cause I haven't-
It is, yeah.
We're
It
gonna-
basically says, well, I guess we should talk about that quickly. Under the recovery officer's report, Skip is going to be on that phone call. Last time I was on the phone call with him.
Okay.
I'm happy to do it again, unless either of you want to be.
No,
But I think that we have. What's up?
I do, but I don't.
Why don't you do it then? And I'll.
Well,
Because
okay.
otherwise, we're going to have to warn a meeting.
Oh, no. Just for a phone call?
I don't know. Maybe we don't.
You didn't need to bring it up.
If you have a quorum, it's 2 people.
We're not gonna be deciding anything.
That is a good question, though. If we're not, all we are
We're
is
not doing
it's an
any
informative
business.
meeting. I'll look into that, in which case all three of us could be on, or just one of us, or whatever. I'll try to find out whether more than one can be on at the same time. Anything else on the recovery officer's report? All right, the Swenson hearing application status. So, Diane, you'll be able to help me with the language about what these documents are, but Bowman, on the behalf of Polycor, submitted to the Act 250 Commission a letter outlining how they think things have gone, and also why they don't think they should pay more than 6.5 cents a cubic foot. Coincidentally, meantime, we've been talking to David Mears, who's the town's lawyer, and he was in the process of drafting a letter to Polycor to try to kind of bring them back to the table to discuss this, in the hopes that maybe a hearing wasn't necessary. It's his opinion that at this point, he did not draft a letter, but he instead drafted a letter to the Act 250 Commission on behalf of the town of Woodbury that outlines the reasons
Why there should be a hearing.
And what will be presented at that hearing. And so part of it is the information regarding the fact that the road's twice as long. We're going to have to pave it at some point, as well as resurface the upper portions of it. So
The information you gave me a number on the gravel section, and I thought you told me that was the total, but then Peter told somebody else that it was only materials.
No, the number I gave you was total.
Okay.
and
that's with
Trucking and
town
labor and
Trucking,
everything.
town labor, grader,
Okay, thank you.
put money in
Okay.
for the
Okay.
chloride, because we're gonna have to chloride
Yeah.
the new gravel.
Okay.
I may have misunderstood.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
I think it was 138.
Something like that, yeah,
Yeah.
almost 140.
And I was surprised paving was as reasonable as it was.
Yes, I was.
69 or
I
something.
was very surprised with that as well, how cheap that was.
Yeah.
So actually, I had a conversation with John Reed
Yep.
today, and I gave him the information. I gave him the breakdown of all those numbers.
Yep. Great.
And so he'll have that for his report, and I'm assuming that will come to you.
You know, in my conversation with David, he had said, David Mears, this is when I talked about the extra length of road, talked about the an adjustment for inflation. He said we really should have a case for, asking for 26 cents a cubic foot. We're not anywhere close to asking for that kind of compensation. And then I think John Reed went back and looked at our highway budget in 2001 when that 6.5 cents was first established, and we were at $195,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
And we're well above that now at 605 or
Right.
right about there. So it feels like who knows what happens, but it feels
Really good argument.
what we're asking for is fair.
All the numbers that Colin was working on had to do with what percentage of the town budget we would be getting from them.
If they're,
And it's, I didn't think that was an interesting number at all, but they also, I think the commission might need to know that they offered the 8 cents a long time ago, and now they're pulling it back. So, that's kind of stinky.
Yeah.
So it's inevitable we're going to hearing, right?
Well,
so does
Well, it seems if Polycor is not willing to talk,
Yeah.
that's the only ground that we have to stand on to
Right.
get what we want.
But do we have to be granted a hearing? Like,
Yeah,
the commission, I think, could
Commission
say
still
no.
has to decide whether we have enough evidence to justify holding a hearing.
Right, so I'm saying, let's not hold back. Let's get that request into the commission
It is,
ASAP.
yeah, we did get that.
But not
We did
David's
put that
letter,
in.
isn't it?
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, you know, I asked David to soft pedal the part about not trusting them to give us the shot rock, because I don't think, I mean, those guys up there have always been good to us, and I'm sure they're in the same situation we are, is having to deal with these new owners, and I don't think they would try to screw us out of some rock that they already offered,
Right,
so. But there was part of that letter that I.
right, but that's kind of a separate issue
Yep.
in my mind.
Right, but David put it in his letter. that-
I didn't read it like that, which is why you know, in my response to,
So David is the town lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanna make
it's basically Paul Gillis's firm.
sure. I don't need his name, I
Yep.
just to know what we're talking
Yep.
about.
Tarrant, Gillies and Shems.
Mhm.
So this is the one that, this is the line that I suggested. I still wish he could find a way to put in this phrase about the unexpectedly hostile and adversarial posture. But,
Okay.
but I really-
Well, maybe that can be, I'll give him a call in the morning and
Yeah.
maybe we can figure out a way. I think that, so it reads, finally, given the unexpectedly hostile and adversarial posture of Swenson Polycor to the town cannot rely upon the quarry to provide material for road construction and maintenance, and so will have to rely upon out-of-town suppliers, which will add to the town's costs. I think that it's worthwhile, like, I think you're right. I think making that a little bit softer is a good thing, but I think somehow the sentiment has to be
Well, yeah, but, okay, but we
messaged.
we need that rock in order to have that project go ahead and have for which we don't have any match budgeted. So I don't want them to give them any reason to say, okay.
How much of
Right, but
that match is that rock gonna really, like, for that project, I can't remember what
The
our
match
match
is
is.
about, in my memory, I think it's about 35,000.
That's what I was gonna say.
And they're kicking
$35,000
$35,000 worth of rock.
35,000. I think it's
So how much are we
25 or
talking about?
Of what?
35,000. The match for the.
Oh, the match, oh yeah, the match, yeah. This
I
would
haven't
only
seen
be a
that
small part.
engineering design yet,
Yeah,
so it's hard to know how many yards of
Yeah.
rock we're really gonna need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We
But
figured-
we haven't got the design yet.
No,
So-
yeah,
that should come pretty soon,
Design.
I think, she's gonna be back here. She couldn't really do the design work because there was so much snow, it was hard to see what was.
Right,
Well, that's,
Right.
so
But
that's
the
up
snow's
in the
gone
air.
now.
But the original,
right, but I think that this rock should not
agreed.
hold us up on this much larger
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
right,
effect.
right.
Because the rock is gonna even be probably a minimal part of the,
Right.
The
And
overall
that's-
match.
And that's a grant, so we
Yeah.
have to spend $15,000 or $20,000 on rock coming from somewhere else. This is a much bigger,
yeah, I agree.
longer term effect that we are dealing with as far as the permit or asking for more money. I mean, when's the last time this was looked at? It was 30 years ago.
Well, no, it was
Is it gonna
probably
be
6
another
years ago.
30 years? I mean, we don't care about
What do you mean?
$15,000
The
worth of rock.
last time the quarry did the new entrance.
Well,
At
last,
that point, the select board did not ask for more money, so
Last
it's not
time
like
the-
yeah.
the
They've
rate
had
was
several
adjusted, it's
opportunities
25.
to ask for more and they never did, so,
but the last time the rate was changed was 25 years ago.
right.
Right.
Yeah, and that was just, offered. There was, the trouble is,